hope this worked first time, eh? Yeah, it did. We're back again. And you again with a sprint race. Let me pull up the live chat. There we go. There we go. Get all sorted, get comfortable, get sat up, get the good posture, get the vocal cords nice and stretched. Hello, Roy. Coming at you from, is it Rome, Roy, where you're driving from today? Is that where you're on holiday? No, I hope you're having a good time, Roy. Nice of you to consider joining us this weekend. Because the Qatar do need the points. Let's just put it that way. And we're given the let's go. I started it just in time. So, hello everybody. We come at you a little bit earlier than normal today, due to there being a race tonight in America at 10 p.m. GMT, and I believe, yeah, no, it's 8 p.m. GMT even. So we're starting around 6:30, just so we can try and get done around 7:30 to 8 for the start of the race. However, some drivers are opting to not attend just because they want their little pre-race build-up and everything. Mainly pesky Americans. AJ has decided to, although in the lead of the championship, and only by 6 points, has decided, I ain't gonna show up today. Which is, I think, is a bit cocky of him, but fair enough. If he wants to watch the race, he can watch the race. We sadly have had a driver leave us over the last between now and the last race weekend. Red Bull driver Kevin Cow has sadly departed from our league. I think many reasons, but he just said that he felt like he didn't have the pace, which, I mean, it's such a shame, because as after Burmeister sang his praises the other day, but yeah, no, it's really sad to see Kevin Cow go. We always hate to lose a driver, and you shall be remembered. And then, in a complete opposite tandem to that, I think, if I'm right, there's tryouts being held for the new position with a few candidates. If you're a candidate, you'll know. And then, yeah, some people. So expect a new driver joining us maybe next race weekend, as a tester driver. But first of all, welcome everyone to Qatar, where we find ourselves here for our third and final sprint race and our third to last race of the season. Very interesting circuit here. Lots of long turns. Not many tricky turns as in like tight chicanes and hairpins, but tricky in the fact that trying to keep the car on the track, getting the turn and getting the throttle, getting the speed into each corner. Like, you mess up one corner, you might be messed up for the next 3 or so. It's a very, very difficult circuit to master and do well without invalidating. This sector particularly is where we'll be looking out for. But yes, it is our last sprint race. So we are running a 35% race, I believe. Yeah, 35% race with a sprint race beforehand, and Handy's going to set us off for a lap of Qatar. So, here we go then. First, down the main straight into a long right-hander. It goes a full nearly 180 degrees round. You've got to be really careful on the curb because of the horrible triangle sort of curb. Which is not very good for the tyres, and just the normal curbs are quite bad as well. You've got to be very careful on and off the throttle, on and off round. Through here, it's very much flowing. You've got to stay in the flow. If you lose concentration for 1 second, you are off the circuit into nearest gravel or into the nearest gravel trap or speed bump. So around here, we're going into a pretty flat out sector 3 shortly, not before. You get a little bit of straightaway breakaway here. A little bit of overtaking does happen at that part of the circuit, so be looking for the race. Here we go. This is flat, ideally flat round here. A little bit of a lift. Car's going to have to yield there on the left. Handy is going to absolutely throttle it down here. Very, very fast sector 3. Should be no time at all in comparison to the greater scheme of the lap. And it is going to be a 121. 2:64 is the first lap time set on the board. There is a yellow flag in sector 1, but I believe that is just for Handy slowing down. As you can see, the validations already coming in to quite strong. So Roy, actually, very surprisingly, sets a 121.603, quite a bit off Hamby. We'll see where everyone else fits. I know Qatar isn't everyone's most favourite circuit, but I think Las Vegas is one of the more controversial additions to the game. Mitch a 121.925, Josh Morton a 121.228, and Alpine currently on provisional pole position very early on, and that is surely ruined by Swampy's 121.1, and then that is shortly ruined by Lazy's 120.762. Mercedes back in full force. I should probably explain, however, not entirely full force. Narvred has received a qualifying ban, so we'll be starting the sprint from P16, but due to the nature of the sprint, wherever the finishing order of the sprint is the qualifying order for the race. So don't count him out of the race. But for the sprint, he'll be lucky if he scores some points, I think. But he could honestly pull off a shocker. Depends how much of a shocker this race is going to be. Yeah, look, there we go. Josh is invalidated. I don't think any of these are racing laps, but invalid. And no more invalidations. But yeah, everyone should be coming on ins. Let's update the timing sheets because it's changed quite a lot. David, a 128.26, puts him P2 in the runnings at the minute. Owechi, a 121.477. P6, Snoopy, a 121.482. P7, Burmeister, 121.673. Mitch and Cammy, 121.925s and 994 respectively. B Process, 122.108, and Smidge, 123.7097. Team Red and Sign on outlaps currently. Everyone else should be heading back into the pit lane, I would imagine. Because you ideally want 3 runs here. So I think both sprint races this season have been won by Burmeister. And Burmeister could do it again and get the Grand Slam of sprint wins. But I believe after his interview last time around, I don't think was he confident about Qatar? I don't remember. Well, we'll find out. That's 1 on the yawn tally. I'm too comfortable. I need to cough really badly as well. Hold on.
Each year, F1 awards both the Constructors and Drivers' Championship, rewarding the teams as well as the drivers for their efforts. The first Constructors' Championship wasn't awarded until 1958, for the inaugural drive.
Thank you for the on-track commentator for covering me there. I am stuffing. So, a little fun fact: Roy is on holiday again. Somehow, he just has all this money to go on holiday with. But no, he's in Rome, I believe, doing things. I don't know what he's doing in Rome. He told me. Let me see if I can find him again to see what Roy is doing in Rome. Yeah, he is in Rome. But I don't remember why he's in Rome. But he's racing from his hotel room. So props to Roy for putting it up in the hotel room. Sign and Team Red yet to set lap. Sign back into the pit lane. Team Red, I think, is just about to put one on the timing sheets now. It's a P8, a 121.548. Not too bad from the Alfa Romeos. The Alfa Romeos really surprised me this season. I think they've gone unsung for most of it. So, to be honest, the Alfa Romeos, this is my little dedication to you. You've done a good job. Especially, I think, in the second half. The first half, I can't really recall. Just the nature of my horrible memory. If you ask me what the race result was, the first race of the season, I honestly could not tell you. My memory is just so bad. Hence why I always have to have data sheets and big tables of all the past races and everything up, because I just don't remember. Sign up the pit lane then. At the minute, it's looking like Mercedes on top. It's 8 minutes left of the session. I don't know why it says Q1. This is just a single Q. So there should be no eliminations unless the settings are wrong. Let me just check that actually, because it is not Roy hosting the lobby today. It is short qualifying. Cool. I just had to check. I was about to say, if it's 15-minute session, this has gone unbelievably slow. I digress. Josh Morton is invalidated Roy around on the lap. A wetchy. Trying to figure out what was going on there on the stream replay. I think it was a little bit of a spin. Mitch on a lap in a yellow flag zone though, trying not to speed on the yellow flags, I would imagine. But handles it like a champ. Process to the not to the line. Oh my god, I am like losing my position around this track. It all looks so similar. It really does. There's an Aston Martin approaching the line. I think that's going to be Mitch. Yes, for a competitive lap time of a 1:21.010. P3 for the Aston Martin. You don't see that every race weekend. Aston Martin up in the top 3 currently. Well, provisional top 3 for the sprint race. Aston Martin, I think, have been pretty mid to bottom field tires. So having Mitch up there right now sounds good. Sirens in the Aston Martin garage and factory. It means you can rejoice a little bit in that. Josh on a lap. David goes faster than lazy. A 1:25.60 is the lap time. There's a little fight going on here. Oh, Williams giving Josh Morton Alpine a tow. Intentional or not, that's what's happened. Maybe a little bit of impeding, maybe, I don't know, because he seems to be pulling into the pit. I don't think he was only out there for one lap, I thought, but I don't know. The process is invalidated. On the lap, we have Snoopy Burr is not on a competitive lap. David's not on a competitive lap. Snoopy might be, so we'll keep our eye on Snoopy. And Sign has set a lap of a 122.087. If Sign did not set a lap, Narmbread's qualifying ban technically wouldn't have worked because he wouldn't have started last. Which I find quite funny. I think that has actually happened to me before in a league one time. Someone got a qualifying ban, and someone didn't qualify, and they started behind the person with the qualifying ban. It's quite funny, quite hysterical. But Snoopy, I think, into the pit lane. Yep. I didn't quite catch any of the sector times, sadly. I assume, yeah, signs are not enough. Right then, just under 5 minutes to go of this session. Before we head on over to the sprint race, welcome you all to the stream. We're here at Qatar for our last sprint race weekend of the season and our third to last race of the season. It's very tight. Our championship leader AJ is not here tonight due to wanting to watch the build up for the actual Grand Prix. This weekend's Grand Prix being the American Grand Prix and him being American. Probably not hard to see the correlation there. Swampy is going out. A lot of people are already out on the track. First one out on the track though is Smidge. Here. 2 Alfa Romeos in formation as well. I have just noticed. Mitch is still sitting inside P3 right now. Has got quite some time to catch if he wants to go up, but Swampy might not have to put in too much of a competitive lap to catch Mitch. Swampy. Also, McLaren with a good qualifying position at the minute. A solid P4 performance on them. If they can keep a hold of this, it could actually be pretty solid for them. But we'll go on board with this Alpha Tauri. I think this is our first race after the sports update, so if any deliveries look any different, that will be why. We're going around now on Smidge into turn 1. It's a wide hairpin. Pretty long corner, looks like about gear 5. The corner takes it down to gear 4 for this corner, takes a little bit of a curve, does not invalidate though. Takes it pretty well here down into turn 5 or 6. And at 5 or 6, this is 6 and 7. Down now into a tighter hairpin. I think one of the tighter corners on this track. I think the tightest corner on this track. Now it's all lift and coast, I think. Not too much braking happening on all. I think that's turn 13. There in validation. They had to widen the track limits there. For the actual Grand Prix weekend, because it was very tight with the drivers. But look at Swampy though, taking that like a champ. Here we go. Let's keep an eye on this lap. It looks to be cooking here. Could overtake Mitch for P3 here. It's looking promising. There's the Alfa Romeo of Smidge there. I think he might have spun out, keeping it valid so far. Really strong lap. Doing it absolutely flawlessly, flat out. Good use of engine braking there to make sure the car makes those turns. This is looking on to be a flyer. What's it going to be as he comes to the line, overtakes Mitch for P3 with a 120.797. I wouldn't be wrong about being a flyer. It was nearly up there with Lazy's lap time for the session. Holy moly. I didn't expect that out of McLaren. Speaking of McLaren, here's the other one. I think it's a little bit slower. To the line, it's going to be a little bit of a drag race. Let's see how Roy manages here. Should propel him up the order a little bit, I would hope. Up one position to P9. Congratulations, Roy. There's Haas there of David. I think maybe, further cementing the time down for 125.60. I think this is David's to keep. his pole position, but Lazy does have one more outlap. And Swampy can get the battery recharge. He could go around again. We got a nice little queue forming here at the back end of the grid. Let's cut to, we got a few people taking the pit lane. Team Red for Aston, Alpha Romeo even, taking a P5 provisional. And Mitch still on that P4 with a lap time to go. We'll see how this one pans out for Mitch. We'll check in intermittently. But provisionals P4 and P5 for Team Red, for Mitch and Team Red. Some of their best performances of the season. Congratulations to the both of you. Josh Morton also on a lap right now. We'll cut to the Haas of David. It's quicker still, more pace in that Haas. The spirit of AJ is flowing. The checkered flag is out, and it's going to be the time to beat for Hamby Lazy. It's a 1:20.350. Hamby has slid his way up into P2. He's still got a lap to try and make a difference if he can. He's just gone into Sector 2 and has missed his sector time. Unfortunately, that was the Red Bull Burmeister P6. Not too bad. Dethrones splits Mitch and Team Red. The Aston Martin, here we go. This will be Cammy. Goes up to P12. Not too bad, not too bad. Could be better, not too bad. We got an invalidated lap here from Sign, and the Mercedes of Lazy stays P3. Alpine of Josh Morton stays P8. We have the Aston Martin of Mitch. It's looking, I think, a bit quicker from my observation. A little bit of a wobble there at the line. Did it cost him some time, maybe, that he could have? No, it was too far off. But it is David Dupay for Haas who takes pole position for the sprint race, which gives him probably the best chance of having pole position for the race, because that's what we call it here, the race. We just gotta wait for Hamby to actually pull into the pit lane. Here we go. In you goes, mate. So then, I think Swampy also slid a lap there, and at the end, I think I saw him P4 if my eyes are correct. Which I have a little bit of doubt. Oh my god, they were! David Dupay P1, Hamby and Lazy, the usual three suspects. Swampy 6 at P4, Mitch P5, Burmeister P6, Team Red P7, 4, 5, 6 and 7 is going to be a very good fight to watch, I think. P8 Josh Morton can maybe slot his nose up a bit further in the sprint. Roy P9, Snoopy P10, Moechi, P11, Cammy P12, Smidge P13, B Process P14, Sign P15, and Nonbread P16, I think, minus the top 3 fight, which could be pretty interesting. I think we're going to have an interesting 4th to 7th battle here as well. So, let's get to it. Let's get loud, people. It's dry. It's shocker. We're in the middle of the desert. Imagine this track in the wet. Holy. We will wait for the players, and then I will say my funny words that I always say, because they're funny. And that's how commentating works. Hello everybody in the chat. Welcome to the stream. You're joining us at a good time before the sprint race. So, don't get it twisted. Because it's 1, like 2, like 3, like 4, like 5. And we go green in Qatar. David gets a pretty good start, followed by Hamby. My telemetry is all messed up. Here you go. off the start. Lazy Hamby, David falling, fighting with the top 3 already in a squabble. The top 7 have already changed around quite a lot, as I predicted. You've got Mitch all the way up into 4th, David down into 3rd, Swampy into 5th. I'm just trying to keep track of all of this. Burmeister takes through Swampy. Swampy collides with the nose of the Alpine, and disaster crash from Team Red, and that is definitely going to be a full course safety car. A few penalties there picked up as well, I think, to Roy and to Mitch. Let's take a look quickly. 3 seconds for Mitch and 5 seconds for Roy. I think one of those two may have been responsible for the collision there. But this has shaped up the order quite a bit. Sign up 6 positions. Narva up 3 from a back row start. Swampy got absolutely swamped down the order at the start there. Very unlucky. Mitch and Burmeister currently leading that top little pack. Snoopy's inserted his nose in there, and sadly, Team Red has had a little bit of a moment. Dino's in the chat. Welcome, Dino. Nice to see your presence this race weekend. Go Smidge. I believe Smidge may have been caught up in a little bit of an accident. Yes, I can see there's a missing end plate there. Maybe being sideswiped by Team Red there. Dives into the pits. What's he got to lose at this point? Nice to see you though, Dino. Couple pit stops from Roy and Josh, I believe, for probably new front wings. He did hit that Alpine pretty hard. Yeah, that's a new front wing for Josh. And for Roy, I would imagine it was a new front wing as well. No mandatory tyre changes needed in a sprint race. And speaking of no mandatory tyre changes, it's looking like a fair mix of softs and mediums. Roy and Smidge have changed onto softs. Josh has gone on to new mediums. Whether or not he thinks those softs will last, maybe, I don't know. But it's looking like top 2 currently on soft. David starting on the mediums, hence why his start was a bit compromised. Burmeister on the mediums, but managed to get past Mitch, Swampy, Snoopy, Swampy starting on the mediums, which probably explains why he started to bubble down the order. Sign up 7 positions or something with Donko. Yeah, 7 positions due to those soft compound tyres. Wetchy on the mediums, Cammy on the softs. Mediums for non-road process, Josh, and softs for those at the back now. Going back to our position change. Yeah, wow. Safety car first lap. I did expect some crashes, but that looked horrible. If a crash like that happened in real life, boy God, we'd be freaking out. But they should be out for one more lap. And we're going to count that as a yawn, I think. But yes, one more lap with the safety car. And we will be good to go. So, we're only going to get about 3 laps of racing. Lap 4, 5, 6, 4 laps of racing. I can't do my maths. Assuming it comes in this lap, in which it should. I see no reason why it don't come in this lap. Yeah, I mean, hectic start already. No complaints as of so far, I think. I mean, obviously, very sad to see Team Red out. And obviously, a safety car in a 7-lap race isn't too ideal. Hey, what's Hamby trying to pull on the safety car there? Looks for a little bit of an overtake, maybe. I'm not sure that's quite allowed, Hamby. Oh, no, has he lost? I thought he lost his wing. The black wing of the Williams there made me think that he lost his end plates, but no, he's still got them. I thought that's maybe why he was trying to get past the safety car. We should get a call in about a couple of seconds to say that the safety car is in. I see no reason or rhyme why it should be in. So let's see, and the safety car is going to be... The safety car is going to be in this lap. Hey, we get to go racing for 4 laps. Let's hope there's not a... You can't have back-to-back safety cars, I don't think. So if there's a crash on lap 5, they could bring out a safety car. I think that's how the game works. You can't have safety car crash on lap 4 safety car. I think if there's a crash on lap 5 though, it can trigger. Because it's not lap 6 or lap 7, it's not the final 2 laps. But here we go, Hamby's gone. It's currently Hamby, Lazy, David, Burr, Mitch, Snoopy, Swampy, Sign, Alechi, Cammy, Numbred, B-Process, Josh, Roy, Smidge. Josh looking at B-Process here for a move on the main straight. Gets a little bit of a sniff, gets a little bit of a look, goes for a second taste, and manages to get it down the inside. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Satisfying to the eyes. That was not satisfying to the eyes. Swampy's going to get swamped down the order even more. It's a disaster from McLaren. Really good qualifying, a really bad sprint race. Let's see what's happening. Towards the front of the grid, we have Hamby, Lazy, David still fighting for those top positions. Burr now joining in on the celebrations. Mitch holding his own in P5. Really good. Carnage, I have just seen. Yes, utter carnage. So far, they are or my commentary is also pretty carnage. But I digress. I'm a bit all over the place. Now I'm up 6 positions from a qualifying ban. It's looking more and more plausible for a race, for a possible higher positioning in the race for him. The soft tyres were the tyres to be on, I think. The safety car has really helped those soft runners, and it's really swamping down those medium runners now. I think Hamby's starting to feel it. Or is Hamby also on the soft? Hamby is also on the soft. But Lazy does manage to slide on past there into turn 1, one of the main overtaking points on the circuit. David is going to be regretting the car choice. I've just seen that he is on mediums. Let's turn that on so I can easily see who's on what. Burmeister on the mediums and managing to keep up pretty well. Burmeister usually pretty good with his strategy calls. But he's handling it pretty well. Mitch behind could steal a position here, which could ultimately pay out well for the race. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on this. We are on lap 5. I believe if there is a crash now, it could trigger another safety car, but do not quote me on that. I do not know my game mechanics very well. I think there has been a little bit of movement lower down the grid. There's a lot of close cars. Look at this, though. Nanbred's definitely made up another position on Cammy. Nanbred's looking for another one on the Alfa Romeo over Wetchy. Looking now for a move down into the last corner. Could it be a possible look down the straight? I think it might have to be for a penultimate lap overtake. You got this little train here, the DRS. Not going to be of assistance down the straight here, but he's going to try and get it done anyway. It's side by side. He's in front into turn 1. Nanbred gets that one done. And Sign is fighting Snoopy. What a little battle this is. Oh, it's very tight with the outside edge of the boundary of the track there, but gets it done. Sign holding on pretty well, I think. Very close there with track limits, I think. I hope I was seeing correctly. But it does manage to keep the position out in front through the succeeding corners. David has managed to get on past Hamby. Has Hamby pushed his tyres too much? We don't know. I don't have my telemetry assist this weekend. I was going to try and go without it and see if the quality is better. Swampy does make up a position on Josh. Or did he steal that back off Josh? I don't really know. Anyway, regardless, Swampy's in front now, fighting with the likes of Roy. Um, I'm joking, Roy. Um, David on the hunt for Lazier. Are the softs starting to degrade a bit? Because Burmeister's catching up to Hamby now. Has Hamby just pushed his softs a bit too much? Because we are now on to the final lap of the race. I remember last weekend I tried to think it was the last lap on the penultimate lap. David, though, gets in front of Lazy. I think the soft tyres may be degrading. There's an Aston Martin and an Alpine in the wall. That Alpine looks pretty stuck. It doesn't have a front wing and it is retired from the session. I'm keeping our eyes out onto the front. We're looking at Lazy on the soft compound. David on the mediums. Lazy with possible tyre advantage. I don't know the wear of those tyres. It could be that the softs have degraded a bit too quickly. We saw what happened with Hamby, or maybe David's just on a flyer right now. This Burmeister doesn't seem to have gained too much onto Hamby in the last part of the last lap. Mitch is still sitting a solid P5. Good performance from Mitch in the sprint race, and hopefully we see a similar performance in the main race. Fingers crossed. Here we go. That looked pretty close here with the Haas and the Mercedes. David Lazy, two of the top constructors teams, fighting it out with the other two not too far behind. If I am correct, it does go Haas, Mercedes, Williams, and then Red Bull. We're approaching the final straight. It's going to be a little bit of a drag race, but it's not to question. David takes the win of the sprint. Lazy, not too far behind. Hamby, Burr, Mitch gets taken down due to penalties. I forgot about them. Snoopy 5th, Lecce 6th, Mitch 7th, Numbred 8th, Swampy 9th, Smidge 10th, Roy 11th, B Process 12th, Sign P 13th, and Cammy, after a little bit of an accident there, I think on the penultimate start of the final lap even, takes P13, P14 even, excuse me. I was wrong. But, driver of the day, Nambred. Where did Nambred finish? I already forgotten. Let me check. Stream replay. 8th, not bad. Not bad from Nambred, honestly. From qualifying ban to P8, not too bad. But, quick recap of the sprint race. Here we go. David does take first with Lazy second. Amby third. Burmeister fourth. Snoopy fifth. Awechi 6th, Mitch 7th, Nambred 8th, Swampy 9th, Smidge 10th, Roy 11th, Process 12th, Sign 13th, Cammy 14th, Josh 15th, and Team Red 16th. Big points for this weekend as it is a sprint. The top 4 teams are the top 4 in the championship. So these 4 are the ones to look out for. But also look out for the other Williams, Mercedes. There isn't another Haas, and there isn't another Red Bull, because he sadly departed. But it's race time. Shorter than normal race time, but race time nonetheless. I think it should be about 14 laps, if I remember. It's about double the sprint. So it's just a sprint, and then the sprint again. So 3 sprints, essentially, if you think about it that way. Pit lane noises intensify. Wow. That's not what. I don't know what kind of pit lane we're in. If those are the noises that it's making. Considering I want to be someone who works in a pit lane, I think I've automatically unqualified myself for that role with those noises. I digress nonetheless. Are the lights actually going? Oh, are we doing the 5-minute break thing? Because last time I thought we were doing that, we weren't doing that. Okay, there's a possibility we have a short break. No, we're not. Okay, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5. And We're great at getting Qatar. David with a pretty good start, followed up by Lazy behind. I got to turn on my detail very quickly. Process already gaining position on Roy there. Burmeister sliding up into P3. Mercedes there going down the inside. Tries to go for an optimistic move, but it's been compromised, I think, a bit there. The Mercedes loses out to the Red Bull, the Williams, and the Ferrari. All of a sudden in this top flight. Gains it back onto the Ferrari, though. It is a big mass of cars. In the center right now. I need to quickly turn on my lap data. There we go. And let's check the starting tires quickly. There's your starting tires. Hard for Lazy. Going for a hard soft, I believe. Burmeister on the mediums, though. Probably going for a medium soft. If I know Burmeister, and I think you do, he does like his soft compound where he can use them. And there has already been a crash. And it's a virtual safety car. I didn't quite catch the cause of that. Oh, I can see it there. I think it might have just been a spin and tag. So we should probably check for some damage on some of these cars. I think that Williams might have damage. Nope. It's still a virtual safety car. I wouldn't expect any pit stops. From my statistical analysis point of view, I don't expect any pit stops to occur. Oh, welcome to VSC City. Never mind. Or I've been proven wrong, it would appear. Process is already into the pit lane. We're changing compound. It'll be the hards, I would imagine. Yes, it is. And a new wing. That's who lost the wing. I knew someone lost it. I thought David was going through the gravel there for a second. As I was saying, hold on a sec. What has happened here? But no, and we're green again. Racing can resume. I don't think the OS clock gets rolled back on that one. It is 20 laps. This race, bang on 20, good number. But we continue onwards. Burmeister, P2. Looking down the grid, I'm looking for any time frames here. Swampy, really good qualifying. Really bad sprint race, I think, is how I sum up his evening so far. And the race isn't looking much better either. The lap times were promising, but when it comes to having to battle other cars around here, it seems to be a bit of a struggle. The game is suggesting a soft medium. For the drivers, that'll be a medium soft because they usually do the slower tyre first, which I don't know why they do that. Actually, I do know why they do that. So that when they go into pit, they come out faster for the overcut, undercut, whatever. That's why teams go from slowest tire to fastest tire. And what is going on here? I have just caught wind of this Swampy. Looked like he was going to go for a move on the Mercedes. Looked like he was going to go for it again. He keeps getting little hints of an overtake, but it's not coming to him yet. There's a Williams there going a bit wide. Look, he goes for it again, going down around the outside. A couple of times of asking. He's still side by side with Nine-Bread. He's a bit ahead now, and I think he's not quite fully ahead. The Mercedes has just snatched it back off him. There, going towards, I think, turn 15. There we go. Fast sector coming up now. We'll keep an eye on this little bit of a train here. We'll go on to Nine-Bread's point of view, just so we can see the cars in front of a bit more. Lazy has picked the 3-second time penalties from multiple warnings. The FAA not going to be very nice today with the track limit penalties, I feel. Drivers will not be cut any slack for going off the track today, so it's up to them. Nine-Bread now. Oh, who is that? Williams of Sign gets a sniff, goes for it on Josh. The Mercedes thought they got a sniff. Nearly takes out the Alpine. Very, very compromised. Now vulnerable to the McLaren Swampy. again through this most of this lap it will be. We have had a session lead as Cammy crashes out. He has now left the session after spectating for a while, or grabbing a drink, or reporting, or getting necessary footage, or I don't know what the drivers do. It's up to them. Yeah. That's all I really have to say. My life is pain. I was expecting you to show up. Hey, Cammy. Oh, holy. What happened? All I saw was your car the wrong way round on the track. A bit too late. If you don't mind telling us what happened, I would very much appreciate being known. It does seem like if I remember, Process had a missing front wing. Did you collide with him, or and Dino's still around? I am bad, so very bad. You're not bad, just requiring a smidge improvement. And oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is a full course safety car for that. Okay. Somehow all the drivers lived that. Safe to say that Mercedes does not have a front wing at all. Does Swampy have a front wing? Partially missing an end plate by the looks of things. Who else? Sign? No? Has Sign got both his end plates? I think so. Yeah, car behind, Smidge. Yeah, oh wow, everyone got real lucky there. I was driving and then there was a car spun around. I couldn't stop in time and it took my tyre off. I sent the clip into chat if you want to analyse it. Okay, well we're under safety car now, so time to analyse. Analysing. No way that took off my tyre. Here we go. So who was it that was spun around? Oh, okay. It was a Ferrari. It was Process. There are pit stops happening, so let me put on the tyres for you guys. There you go. So from my point of view, Roy was Roy, then okay, yeah, and then so yeah, there was a car that was spun around. I think it was a Mercedes. I don't think it's lazy. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was an arm-red. But then that caused a massive backlog of cars, and yeah, that's just unfortunate. And also that taking your tyre off is also just very unfortunate. And then yeah, that is unfortunate. That's all I have really to say. But that is that is unfortunate. But welcome, Cammy. I hear that you might be commentating the 5-lap championship with me. If no other commentators decide they want to contribute. Into which point, I remember our last ones and they were very fun. But have you heard about this, or is this Roy feeding me propaganda to get me to commentate? Because I don't quite know. So while Cammy waits to answer my question, tyre strategy's changed a bit. Hamby has not pitted. The rest of the grid has pitted other than Process. It's hards for David, softs for Burmeister. Those have come out quite early, in my opinion. Because if I remember, this circuit's quite high deg. Or is it quite low deg? I honestly can't remember if it's high or low deg. But that's a very interesting choice of tyre. Lazy has a penalty. That's 3 second time penalty from up the track limits. and then from there it's hards to mediums. But I knew Burmeister was gonna. I was unaware of the commentary, but I'm up for it. Amen. I enjoyed it last time. Roy will be happy to hear that. Um, he will be happy to hear that his propaganda is true. Yeah. But no, very interesting. From Burmeister. I think it's a bit early, but I've learned not to question his tire tactics. He pulls off some masterclasses sometimes. And if there's more safety cars, those soft tires can just last, really. There's safety car, safety car. And actually, to be fair, looking at it, we are like halfway through this race now. What, 12? When this safety car comes in, 12 laps? Yeah, no, it might be the right call. I've come round to it. I always do. Mitch, upper position as well. Congratulations, Mitch. Smidge, Swampy. I know Dino's in the chat. Happy to hear Smidge is in the points so far. Congratulations, AlphaTauri. I don't know where you are in the constructors, but congratulations. Good job. Keep doing what you're doing. And Aston Martin's looking like a good finish from you as well, Cammy. If Mitch can keep a hold of this. The safety car's in this lap, though. And it will be Hamby who lets us out. So let's see what's going to happen, eh? Eh? So, Hamby. We'll probably let it rip in this final corner, I would imagine, right? Here we go. Blade. Not quite yet. Blade. Let it rip. Let's go racing. Here we go. Hamby. Not quite losing David. And oh, God. Really not losing David. David looking for a move there. Right on the gearbox. Going round the outside. Gets it done. Very quick. Very nimble. Very nice. Nonbred up positions here. I'm seeing a Williams of Hamby fighting Lazy. I'm seeing, let's keep an eye on this actually, because we'll see everything else from behind. Lazy currently in front now of Hamby. Hamby now under threat from the Alfa Romeo of Awechi. Awechi tries to go down the inside. Doesn't really quite work. A little compromise. Side by side, Awechi's in front, round the outside. Is he going to get it done? No, he isn't. Yes, he is. Holy, I thought he was out of track there. Fair play. Looking down the grid, Mitch has lost out of position to Snoopy, looking to regain that back, I would imagine. Oh, you were screwed there, says Dino. Yeah. Pretty screwed. Smidge gets a 3-second time penalty. That wasn't another, that was just me starring. Smidge gets a 3-second time penalty. Another 3-second time penalty for B Process. Burmeister's fighting David for the lead. I have a feeling, yeah, Burmeister is going to get that one pretty easy. Mercedes now coming past of Lazy. David fighting back though with a little bit of battery. Burmeister really not helping here. Would like to keep David behind, would be my guess, and does so efficiently. Lazy manages to slide up into P2 and Burmeister into first. But how long will those soft tyres go for? Because I have a feeling, although Burmeister's our local tyre whisperer, 12 lap softs, you can't whisper to tyres for that long in my view. And maybe he's done it before, maybe I'm going to be proved horribly wrong. It might be the smoothest operation in his entire life. But I said that with a lift, didn't I? What has happened to Nonbread? Nonbread has gone off the trap. Off the track into a gravel track, and way Swampy's gone round. It's gone from bad to worse to absolutely horrible for McLaren, minus the fact that Roy's in the points. But Swampy really promising qualifying. Not such a great sprint race. Absolute disaster class of a race. Very unfortunate for Swampy. But Roy on the hotel Wi-Fi is doing bits currently. Non-Bread getting past Team Red there. I'm looking to climb back up the order after losing a fair shout of position, swapping into the pit lane. Is it a retirement? I hope not. Hopefully there is still a way to salvage this. I could bet on another safety car. And I think it is just going to be a pit stop for a new wing for the McLaren driver. There's an Alpine here. Sorry, I had to rub my eyes. 10 positions for Josh Morton in the Alpine, defending from Rogue Ferrari on the run. Sign getting position over Roy. Smidge getting position over Process. Smidge back on track to be in the points. Dino will be happy to hear. The Alpine with its updated body shape, which I don't know if I like very much, because this one it looks very weird in this lighting. But oh, that looked a bit funky, but I think it's all good. As we keep tabs up here, Lazy and Burmeister. Those softs aren't going off quite yet, but the DRS and the ERS powerful enough for Lazy to get the move done into first, down into the first corner. Ooh, a little bit of, I think, oversteer there. Maybe just a tad. Snoopy currently ahead now of Josh Morton. I missed the overtake down the straight. Here we go. I think there's one formulating back here. Like La Formula, that one song that Will Smith wrote. And if you aren't aware, actually, Will Smith did write another Formula One song. I think it's called Let's Go, with J Balvin. In case you haven't seen it, it is, in case you haven't seen the Formula, the first Formula One song Will Smith wrote, and then he released at the Miami GP. He wrote another one called Let's Go with J Balvin, and released that one at the American GP this weekend. And what I'm probably betting on is he'll release another one in Vegas, which is not too far out, actually. So, unless he has these things, like, cooked up and ready to go, which I assume he does, he's a music man, there'll be another one coming out soon, so keep your eyes peeled, people, for some Will Smith bangers. Will Smith? Will.i.am bangers, sorry. I think I might have said Will Smith this entire time. I meant Will.i.am. Although, probably because I was talking about Miami, I said Will Smith, because, well, he wrote that one song about that one place in America, called the Men in Black. No, it's called Miami. I digress. Burmeister fighting for this first on those softs. I think he might be hitting the point where he has to play Tire Whisperer and just take a bit of a chill pill, go a bit slower, so that he can win this race out. But if he does that, Lazy is on the more stintier tire, so he would actually be not in a great place right now, because he can't really back off, but he can't really he can't really back off, and he can't really speed up. You gotta be pretty consistent with the pace. I think you just gotta sort of like slingshot it about. Stay in the slipstream, keep the tires nice, new and fresh for as long as you can. And here goes Mitch. Right on the gearbox of that Ferrari, it looked like it was like getting away with of that. let's see what's about to happen here with Mitch. Down and round into turn 13. This isn't turn 13. This is coming up now, I believe. Not really an overtaking spot, but some spot where you can gain some time. And actually, he's going to turn it into an overtaking spot. Tried to go for the switchback, just not enough room. Compromises slightly to sign behind. It's very close. A major compromise. Down this little bit of a straight. I think there's going to be a opportunistic move here for sign down the straight. If not through these corners here, although through these corners is very risky just due to the high speeds at which they occur at. So Mitch will be clinging on to Snoopy's DRS for dear life to try and pull away from sign. And he is actually managing to do that and even gain some to Snoopy, but he's going to take a quick peek, but no avail there for Mitch. Josh at the front of this queue. Let's go a little bit further forward to the top three. Mercedes, Red Bull, and Haas is how it stands at the minute. A wet P4 as well. Not including this one. But it is getting a bit crazy up in here. Well, it's actually getting a bit calmer. But it could easily get crazy up in here. There isn't really much to watch at the minute. There is. There's this little midfield fight. I'll keep an eye on it. Just because it's involving some of the cars. Some of the drivers watching the stream who aren't racing are affiliated with. So I will give Cammy what he wants if he's still here. There you go. Ahead goes Snoopy on Josh Morton. It's very close, but I think ultimately just compromised on the exit. Was Snoopy, couldn't quite get the move formulated. Sails the dummy right on the gearbox of that Alpine, but Mitch is lurking behind, ready to collect the scraps of this fight here. And oh my god, the Williams is looking for a dive. But Josh is going to stay ahead for now. There's a Williams fighting on the back of the Aston Martin. The Alpine's pulling away from the Ferrari, and there's now a Mercedes, a very quick Mercedes, I will add, not too far behind all this. So keep your eyes double peeled if they weren't peeled already, or should I say, Cammy Peel, or Cameron Peel. And Team Red has retired. It's a caution in Sector 3. It's a pit lane deal. Are racing distance to survive the DRS onslaught. Mitch looked but couldn't formulate anything again. Sign now at the back. No, I don't know. Nambred has joined the back of the queue. And we'll be wanting a shimmy on to occur here between all the drivers. So hopefully we're going to see that shimmy on occur over the next couple laps, because there's not many laps left to get this move done for any of these drivers, really. They're just sort of in this little bit of a train, the crazy train, DRS train, on the highway to hell, stairway to heaven, although it isn't really much of a stairway, it's more of elevation changing to heaven. But Yeah. I need to stop talking for a minute just for my brain to catch up with everything I just said in like the last 5 minutes. Because I can talk and I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk. But my brain just doesn't catch up. Lap 17 of 20. Not long left now. This Mercedes could use some more points. That's all I'm saying. And he's struggling. Josh is fighting Snoopy again. Hamby gets a 5-second time penalty. I'm currently sat in P12. There are some time penalties in this bunch, actually. Very interestingly. Mainly, the two people at the front. So this could prove pretty interesting. And the person in first currently has a 3-second time penalty. So these two behind Burr and David are really the ones fighting for first here. Unless Lazy can pull 3 seconds in the next couple laps, which, unless those softs start to degrade, I mean, still got to lose David, who is about a second out. At least Seb is smashing it for Alpha. Seb is absolutely smashing it. I mean, he's doing a good job. You also were doing a very good job. If that is you, Team Red. I think it might be. I have a sneaking suspicion after that affiliation with Alfa Romeo that it might be you. You were doing a smashing job. It just someone just kind of smashed into you, which was the main downside of that, I think. Yeah, someone did smash into you, I think. Or was it a fault of your... I don't remember. Let's just assume... No, because the Mercedes crashed, but it wasn't... I don't remember what happened to Team Red. I'm sorry, Team Red. Oh no, you just retired in the pit lane. No, wait, no, yeah, mate, no. I forgot. I digress. Hamby's out of the session. In the pit lane. Hamby does retire. Looking back towards the front, Burr has now lost out to David. I think those softs have gone. I think those softs have gone bye-bye. And now David is clinging on to Lazy. And if Lazy's lucky, he might be able to lose Burr enough so that Lazy only drops to second. Which would be good for the constructors' points, but still wouldn't be optimal. Mitch is in front of this train now. How has that happened? I look away for a few minutes and he's in the front of the train. Holy. Snoop picks up another penalty and Josh running 6th, Narnbread 7th. This train's had a right change about. Team Red in my chat, just confirming his presence. In my chat. Alpine here fighting the Mercedes. Mercedes trying to go. I think the hard tires are coming in now on these final 2 laps, but I don't think it's going to be too much. Thanks, man. Yeah, carnage again. Racing incident midfield is not fun at the moment. Racing midfield is not fun at the moment. Yeah, I guess it is. It's not where people want to be, really. You want to be at the front. But then again, you got to take each race as it comes. What Burmeister said, something very inspirational at one point. Yeah, I did get damage from the front wing and the mechanics refused to change my wing. Divas. Mechanics went, nuh-uh, no wing change for you. Get back out there and suck it up. Oh, God. If I had to deal with like a Nikita Mazepin and he kept crashing and kept going into the pit, I'm surprised Gunther Steiner just didn't go like, no, you're not getting a new wing, just go through, go through the pit lane. Yeah, no, non-bread Josh gets compromised a bit. Non-bread Sleepy come on through. Mitch, P5. Cammy will be happy to hear. Wetchy P4. Burmeister fallen out of 3 seconds of Lazy. Lazy at the minute, only really fighting David. David could try and get it on track. He could play it safe, or he can play it slow. It's all in his hands. Either way, he gets the W. Process has crashed on track. Looks to be mid-corner, but seems to be going. I think maybe just a beach there, and having to retire. But there's 4 retirements in this race. Not very nice. And we have actually gone a race without someone getting lapped. For Swampy, he's going to be the first person to take the checkered flag, I think. Even though he's a lapped car. Or is he just going to let himself be lapped? No. But Lazy takes the checkered flag. David is going to win it. Burmeister is just going to slot in third. Unfortunately, I think the softs just went off a bit towards the end. Owechi and Mitch, very, very close. But Owechi followed by Mitch. Nanbread, good recovery drive. Snoopy's 7th for now. Sign 7th. Roy 8th. Snoopy 9th. Smidge, I assume, 10th. Josh 11th. And Swampy 12th. Could have been, I say could have been worse. From an entertaining standpoint, it wasn't bad. However, actually, I'm going to make the executive decision to not do interviews this race, purely because I know people want to get to the Grand Prix. And I know I'm going to take too long. So I am actually just going to put in the lobby chat at David, at Lazy, at Burr. If you want to go watch the race, then don't bother coming to interviews. If you want to come though, I'll try to make it quick. And there he is, David, taking the top step of the podium. I assume they all want to go and watch the race. So, I'm not gonna hold interviews probably today, just because of the nature of the race. But I will quickly go over the race results. Here we go. Lazy, excuse me. David takes P1 today, followed by Lazy P2, Burmeister P3. Owechi P4 for Alfa Romeo, Mitch P5 for Aston Martin. Congratulations to everyone so far. Congratulations to everyone, I should say. I'm not biased. Nanbread P6, Sign P7, Roy P8, Snoopy P9, Smidge P10, Josh P11, Swampy P12, B Process P13, Handy P14, Team Red P15, and Cammy P16. Well, I assume that they won't want to come to my interviews today. Tyre wear was quite high at the end, apparently. David's hards were very high. Yes. I'm going to end the stream here because no interviews. I believe Lazy takes the championship lead going into the last 2 races of the season. It's getting very close now. You want to do one? Hold on, we might have one interview. Do you want? Burr might want. Burr might want to do an interview. I think Burr might want to do one. I don't know. Hello and goodbye. I just popped in before stream start. Well, I'm leaving, but nice to see you, man. Oh, it's always a pleasure seeing you hop in. Yeah, I was just about to do interviews, but I don't think I'm going to do them because race start is now. So, yeah. I'll just say to who was it? But I won't do them. Well, yeah, I'll end it here then, guys. We'll see you next week. From I don't know where. Oh, my home race! We're coming at you from UK. I'll see you all in oh great England. Have a good